half, but you know, Liam gets his opportunity and was probably a bit stiff not to be in the starting 11 this week after his performance last week.
Thanks for your time, mate. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ivan Jelic here standing in for Ante Milicic, who mentioned in the first half lost his father through the week, passed away over in Croatia. So Ivan Jelic is in charge for Macarthur FC. There is Liam Rose. He's out there. He's had few appearances this season, bouncing in between the A-League squad and the NPL squad for the Bulls. But his 79th A-League appearance and yet to get off the mark goals-wise, Liam. He's in that select band with players like Alex Rufer and Ryan Strain, just waiting for that drought-breaking goal as we're underway on a cool, crisp evening in Campbelltown. Genre looked to be caught. I think O'Neill looked around at the referee saying there's nothing in it, which is usually the giveaway to say that there was something in it. And Macarthur, by the way, perhaps early next week, going to announce plans of a huge training complex about 10 minutes from here, which is good news for the club. They're going to base all future operations. First team, youth setup, women's team. Here's Melbourne City going forward through Metcalf. Noon. Lovely ball into Aidan O'Neill, who can have a go if he wants to. He looks for McLaren. He might have been on the edge of being offside, but inventive idea from Aidan O'Neill.
Yeah, well, James Meredith was running back with his arm up, I think more in hope than serious expectation that McLaren might have been offside. We'll see. There's an enormous burst from Connor Metcalf to open up midfield. Yeah, he would have been clearly offside. So it was an expectation from Meredith. Well, great words from Ivan Jelic that the team's going to keep believing in their approach, which was an effective one in the first half. And I look forward to watching it unfold again in the second half, because I think they shaded it in that first half. If goalkeeper activity is any indicator, it was Adam Federici who spent more time spectating than Tom Glover.
O'Neill flies it into Luna and Metcalf and Noon, and the cross is deflected. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective in the end. Clearance from Macarthur, all the way back to Curtis Good. That was ambitious from O'Neill. Chopped out by Shushnyar, and Macarthur can come away. Darbyshire herring after that. So Curtis Good is across sprightly. Macarthur's next game due to be in Perth. Bit of a question mark on that one at the moment. And then after that, it's Melbourne victory. As for City, they're home against Newcastle on Thursday night. Rio can't get past Metcalf, but Meredith got a little bump on the way through there. Wins a corner.
There's a little nip at the heels of Meredith, who started this attack with a very tidy piece of work, tight on the left touchline. He maintained his balance. Penalty area, corner results.
Corner cleared in the end by Karen Stokes. Genre. Galloway in the boot. Benyat is the one to get over there. Got in the way of that, and it works out okay for Macarthur. Rio going forward. Derbyshire, but it's too deep, that cross.
Just didn't find his range, the Frenchman. He's looked a bit freer tonight. He's had a consistent run in the starting 11, which is, I'm sure, a relief for him. He's got a lot of talent. I don't think we've seen the full range of it this A-League season, but he's played with a bit more freedom tonight. Not from a tactical viewpoint, I think in his own mind.
Getting that movement forward for Melbourne City doesn't come off, and here's the statistical evidence which backs up the thought that Macarthur have nullified City really well. Good. Cool under pressure.
Sorry, mate, I was going to say, before it goes cold, what a ball out from Federici.
They've broken the offside trap here. Here's Naboot with McLaren in the middle, waiting for it. Milligan got back, but unfortunately, Mark Milligan has put the ball into the back of his own net. But he can smile because the flag is up. I don't know. I thought it was definitely McLaren offside, but I'm not sure about Naboot, and he was the one that received the ball off the pass. Milligan wasn't to know that that flag was up and there was a danger of being offside. He had to deal with what he had to deal with, and unfortunately, there's Liam Rose in the equation here.
Well, VAR will be looking at it again anyway. It looks like a tight one. It looks slightly offside. That's the way the assistant saw it, so he's within his rights to flag, and now the VAR can intervene, which they've done, and checked it all off. It's a big escape. They were very flat, the Macarthur defence there, and James Meredith in particular, not his starting position, but he's finding it very, very difficult to recover any territory at all. The left full-back, the wide left player for Macarthur.
It's a lovely finish from Milligan. He's pretty happy when he saw that flag go up. Macarthur away. It was the first time Macarthur, I can remember in the game, since the McLaren chance that he scuffed in the first half, that they've been exposed in behind. Maybe caught too high or ball watching when the ball was played over, but big chance for Melbourne City.
Yeah, big chance. I think it was probably the third time. There were two in the first half. McLaren on the end of both of them. One was the toe poker and one was the full instep shot that missed, and the one that's just been pulled back for offside. So Macarthur have done well to restrict it, I guess, to those, but just on notice that you can't afford to really give any space in behind.
Just onto that statistical evidence about how well Macarthur have nullified Melbourne City. City average 17 goals, almost 17 shots per game this season. So far tonight, 3.
Well, the evidence on the 52 minutes here, and indeed throughout the season. If Melbourne City are the benchmark, they're currently top of the table with a couple of games in hand, so that's a fair enough application. And as it has been with the Mariners throughout the season, whilst they were top, you've got to at least match them.
Well, stayed on side. Shushnyar attacking it. The flag did go up in the end. But the big central defender, the pillar at the back for Macarthur, continued the run and nearly opened the scoring.
Well, he laid it off, continued the run nicely. Onwa just lost his radar completely, was running away from all the football, had no idea where anyone was.
That was good. Just keep him on. Lachlan Rose, full head of steam up, finds Puyol. Just wants it back on his left, the Frenchman. And maybe the first time cross with the right was on anyway. Benya got his wires crossed. He thought Liam Rose was closer than what he was. Luna takes off. Puyol can't even foul him on the way through. Luna chops it back to where it came from, to Noon. Takes the ball in stride, does well. Diving header from Milligan, missed first up. Shushnyar was there to clean up. Derbyshire.
Well, did well in the end. Derbyshire was severely outnumbered. Beautiful work by Lockie Rose just to relieve the pressure as Craig Noon bombed on down the left for Melbourne City.
Derbyshire enjoying his weekend sightseeing trips around to the local grounds of Sydney, with both boys of his playing in NPL football for Hills United. Best friend, the GPS app at the moment. Metcalf, right idea, wrong execution to Luna. He's not in sync at the moment, City, not allowed to be. Here goes Macarthur again, but speaking of not in sync, Meredith kicks it out. Good movement here from City, and it's opened them up. Metcalf, he's got Luna in the middle. If he wants him, he goes himself. Good save from Federici, but cut apart Macarthur.
Well, what a shame for Melbourne City and Connor Metcalf. Dead set when he breaks out of midfield. Look at this. 3 strides, he's in full stride. It can't really mean he needs to square that, though. The recovery of Sushnya, there's no doubt, distracted him and thought, I may as well go myself.
Yeah, the old third man run.
Well, that's my point about when Roston Griffiths hasn't been able to play until now. And Melbourne City have lost that when Metcalf's had to drop into the deep midfield position. But it is such a weapon. Ghost he can run out of midfield. Very strong left foot. Really good player. Be very surprised if he's not part of the shenanigans in Tokyo mid-year. Although competition for those spots is going to be white hot.
Yeah, smaller squads in the Olympics. Here's Lachlan Rose. Good again. He's up to his name defensively. Here's Ongwa off the throw in. Rose, early cross. She called for it. He's looking for something aerially there. Matt Derbyshire, and he's been so adept at scoring goals with his head. 5 goals of his 11 this season have been of the kickball with head nature, and Liam Rose has the opportunity to take his choice in terms of what ball to use there, but play goes on. Sean Evans kept it going. Good. In front of Derbyshire. Bit of heat coming here from Macarthur. All of a sudden, Derbyshire's cross doesn't get past. Good corner, though.
Well, great refereeing there. Craig Noon thought, we're under a bit of heat here, so I'm going to keep this second ball in the field of play, hoping the ref stops it. Sean Evans said, we're going to play on. And to his credit, Paddy Kosnorve said, no, play on, I'll go and get the ball. Well done to referee and the coach of Melbourne City on that occasion, Paddy Kay.
Some coaches would have gone and just kicked it into the mayhem. Here's Benyat looking to do just that with the corner, but no one really attacking it from Macarthur. And Rose, his loopy little header, goes straight to Glover. But the pace has picked up noticeably here in the last 10 minutes. So as the game opens up over the last half hour, we could be in for beauty of a finish again in the A-League. Noon, quick feet. It's away from a couple. Double substitution being ready by Macarthur as McLaren goes in behind Milligan. It's a lovely back heel right into the path of Noon. And Metcalf, what a finish, what a goal. Melbourne City hit the front. A player very much in form, in a team very much in form. Connor Metcalf. He'll be an Olympian soon if he keeps that up.
Well, the start, look at this from Jamison. This was perfect between Jamison and McLaren. They looked at each other and they knew McLaren was off. That breached the defence. Noon just hits it in first time. And the former South Cardiff gunner goes boom. Beautiful finish, superb goal. Really a superb football goal.
So it's Anthony Golek for James Meredith. Charles Monbois, his night is over, and Danny Martis is on for Macarthur. Double substitution, but Connor Metcalf, what a season he's having. Another late run into the box he profits from. And Melbourne City have a big, big goal. Just as the game mentioned was opening up in the last 10 minutes, both ways, it's Melbourne City to profit. And Macarthur hit back straight away. Rose hits Jamison in the hand, and the hand was well away from the body. So it's a free kick, not a corner.
Well, I don't know if you prefer the free kick from here or the corner.
Well, they're asking themselves.
I don't know if they get the choice. The referee's given the free kick.
It's not rugby union. You don't get
That's right. But at least with the corner, you don't have to worry about offside.
Rather than a free kick, it's a bit closer. You can whip it in a bit
Well,
harder.
that's, you know, again, it's the horses for courses.
A lot of organisation required here for Melbourne City. It's a tricky little set-piece opportunity to deal with. Puyo standing over at Benyat as well. Will be the left-footed Frenchman. Good one, far post. Glover deals with it really well. Boot. End of a handball there as well. As on Benyat goes back to Milligan. Rose, encouraged by teammates to go forward, finds the other Rose Lachlan, but it breaks down. Leo, Martis, Rose, and unfortunately the ball left the field of play before it got to Lachlan Rose.
Well, that was good work from Noon. Effectively the thorn between the two Roses there.
So what you've done there. Lends itself to that kind of line, doesn't it? It's good when they played on Valentine's Day, those two.
Well, mate, you're going to drop the line about bulls and calves, and it's you can only go up from there, can't it?
Set a low bar for yourself. You'll never get disappointed, Harps. Here's Jamison. John Rowe. How do they pick apart Melbourne City here? No Shusayata. Such an integral part of their attacking setup, Macarthur. Here's Milligan. Rose, Martis takes off. Genre. Break stride really hindered forward momentum they had. Picks that from underneath him. Glover finds it. Puyo with the header. Just wide.
Well, excellent quick thinking. I thought for all money it was going to go in. Genre drops the ball round about the edge of the 6-yard box. Glover comes and punches cleanly, but straight to the Frenchman, who reacted and thought quickly, but couldn't control the header. It's a near thing. Wow.
City out through O'Neill and Galloway. Luna. Looking for McLaren, flags down. McLaren straight at Federici, gets another chance, elects to play in a teammate all the way back to Craig Noon, whose shot was high and wide. Eventually the flag goes up on McLaren. Quite been his night, Jamie. 98 A-League goals, extraordinary goal-scoring rate. And he'll be the fastest in Australian football history to reach 100. Past anyone in the NSL days. Frank Farina, John Cosmina, Ante Milic, Damien Mori. There he is for Melbourne City. He's one shy of equaling Bruno Fornaroli's club record. He's taken just 141 games to get to 98. Not bad for a player who could hardly get a kick for Perth Glory when he...
long time ago that now.
2013.
Well, he might have found the target himself tonight, but without the run that he made that Jamison found, there's no Melbourne City goal. It was brilliant between Jamison and McLaren. What followed wasn't too shabby either.
Here is the goal scorer in Metcalf, who was hammered. McLaren with another chance, straight at Federici again, who will come back. And there was a noticeable noise on Connor Metcalf. On his shin, I think it was, and hopefully his shin pads have done the job there. Otherwise, it was a bit of green whistle action and off to hospital with a leg dangling, because there was a bit of ferocity behind that challenge that tried to stop the play.
Well, he stretched in. He was second best at that point. Oh, flew it. Liam Rose, I think it was.
In the end, it wasn't the full force of the end of the foot. It was still leg bent on the way into the challenge.
I still think it might have been sanctionable.
No card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Got me a little beat.
Work set piece here, just beyond the boot. Maybe the dry pitch that might have worked and held up. Let's get it on through to Federici. Which now does well. Body positioning meant that he had to go back when he received his Milligan, Benyat, Martis, and Rose. Forward Noon seeking retribution, John Rambo style. First time maybe Craig Noon's been compared to Jay Rambo. Noon gives away the foul.
Well, I mean, if you fly in like that, you've got no control once you've left the ground. No control of what happens thereafter, really. I would have thought that was a clear yellow card.
Seen him given. Here's Naboot going forward. McLaren. Luna, back to Noon. And it's off the head of Milligan. His mate Federici comes out the clock. Just over 20 minutes to go here at Campbelltown. And Macarthur looking for the solution that will get them something out of this game. Lachlan Rose came over for a chat with his coach there, Aaron Yelich, but Federici saw that he was the most viable option. Milligan. Milligan again. Patient this time, Macarthur. Rose. Rose and Milligan. Benyat. It's bouncing around, but not really going anywhere. Macarthur, and Benyat was looking somewhere where Liam Rose wasn't. And it turns over. McLaren between two centre-backs. Milligan and Shushnow, who comes over and shovels McLaren out the way, but it falls for Noon. Galloway's just in front of him, chases it down well. Scott, cross doesn't get past Milligan. Noon. Metcalf, just into an area. McLaren handball, gave himself up. Do they need an extra player in midfield, Macarthur? instead of the back three, maybe putting someone on or using, say, Mark Milligan or a Liam Rose, the player on the ball, to take up a starting position a little further forward than the back line.
I think they need to change the dynamic. They've got to get Puyo on the ball more. I think he needs to drop off the line or find some space. There's one player in the front half of the field who can really orchestrate something. It's what he's promised all season. We've only seen it in fits and starts, but tonight's the night for the Frenchman. Down 1-0 at home against the league leaders. It's been a solid performance from Macarthur. They've been stung by a goal of immense quality, and since then they've found it difficult to break free. And that's when you're looking at players with the brief of a Loic Puyol to really find their football.
Benya. Shush now. Offside. From an offside position was Derbyshire getting involved in play.
But I would be also pushing, when we've got the ball, I'd be pushing Lockie Rose as high as I can. Just see if we can drop you in behind. The other guys do the work in close, the combinations, and when we get the chance, we'll drop the ball in behind the Melbourne City defence.
Galloway, centrally. There we go, but the shot is meek towards Federici. They're not noted win points from losing position team, Macarthur. They came back from 1-0 down against Wellington in round 3 for a draw. Apart from that, it's been slim pickings for when they've gone behind. They won a game against Western United after falling behind. In total, it's just 5 points from the 10 times, or the 10 games they've gone behind in. So they have to do something against the grain. Give themselves a chance in this one to get something out of it. It's a real big question mark, which will be after the team's name on the ladder if they drop all three here, because Western United, Brisbane and Wellington, maybe even Perth, with a stack of games to come in commission. Big switch from Melbourne City, out from Noon to Galloway, and over to Naboot. Golik got in the way. Michael Roos is being ready as well. There's a physical presence up front from Macarthur. Or a wide player as well. Shush now to Derbyshire. Loses it. Left a tag on McLaren as well. Not McLaren, it was Luna, but here's McLaren. Federici sticks out at Paul, but again he's offside. He thought he was. Looked to be a few steps beyond that last line.
And again, ref says acknowledge the offside. Let's keep playing. Well done, Sean Evans.
Breaks on down the left. Goal that could be found with the pass. Martis. Rose. Jean Rowe going into a challenge. I thought he was going to go head-to-head with Curtis Good. It's Aidan O'Neill between the pair of them. It's a neat pass from O'Neill to Metcalf. He knew exactly what he wanted to do before. And that's fine. Noon, he continued his run. His Luna got a bit cute when perhaps the shot was on.
Well, maybe. Certainly McLaren was expecting him to shoot, so he didn't move at all. Metcalf again, digging the ball out of a tight situation. He plays that left side midfield just so perfectly, as good as there is in the comp, actually.
Benyat in front of Rose. The cross is just beyond Derbyshire, as try as he might to get something on it. He couldn't do much more than that.
That's where you want Lockie Rose, up high and wide.
Puyo is the man to make way. Michael Roos As they say in the classics, was an early developer. He built like a tank when he was a teenager. In fact, still is, but yeah, he's a real athlete. Let's see what the play is here for Macarthur. He's going to get an early touch, and it's a good one to Genre. He's thinking about things. A tangle inside the box. Sean Evans not interested.
Well, VAR will be having a look at it. Genre was never really in balance himself, but that's not his fault. That'll be play on.
Oh, Benyat, not totally sure that McLaren was there. I think it was a bit of a blind one. Good, and Derbyshire, fair bet of that. Nothing doing for either opponent there. O'Neill. Noon, they get there in front of Milligan, not quite. Starting to find, you Harps, that the higher midfielder for Melbourne City is starting to be able to face forward quickly and play forward quickly.
Well, you know, they do. They grind teams down with their physical output. There's more on the cards now. It's a very promising 75 minutes from O'Neill.
Macarthur is out there now. He's made a real impact off the bench in recent times for Melbourne City. Sydney boy. A bit with Sydney Olympic and the Sydney FC Academy. Aidan O'Neill is the man to make way. So it looks like Conor Metcalf is going to drop into a more withdrawn role. And Craig Noon, too, is substituted. And Colin Berenguer is the player to come on. But a huge 20 minutes here for Macarthur in particular. Big for Melbourne City. They go 3 points clear at the top. They got the advantage of a fantastic goal difference. So a win here stops Adelaide United with the chance of going top tomorrow against Wellington. But Macarthur, more importantly, Harps, we said it at half-time, this is massive. Stokes got his leg in a tangle there. Bruce with the ball, one-on-one. It is 1-1. The substitution works for Macarthur. It sparked them to life here at Campbelltown. And we've got a real finish on our hands.
Well, all you can do as a sub is come on and change the game. And speed and bulk won the day. It was an innocuous situation. Jamison couldn't win the ball. Genre couldn't really make any progress either. Tilio very fleet-footed, but he puts it into a 50-50 situation. Too fast, Bruce. A shame for Kieran Stokes, who's been great, but he was caught short, and the substitute equalises. You'd have to say it's the least Macarthur deserve at this point. Will it be enough to spur them on?
Neat finish past Glover. I'll tell you one thing, Kieran Stokes, maybe it's not so bad from a personal point of view. I know it's not good for the team, but he attempted to bring him down. He's such a specimen, this young man, that he didn't even break stride. He didn't even infiltrate him. That attempted challenge from Stokes. But if he did bring him down, I reckon Stokes' night was done.
Well, very possibly.
Here's a chance to hit back, though, for City immediately. Luna, it nearly falls to him. Federici wires crossed with a teammate. McLaren! Shushniar in the way. I hope we get one of these typical finishes in the A-League where it's 1-1, but both teams just go for it.
Well, it certainly has all the hallmarks. It's great atmosphere here. The players have delivered a really tight, strong tussle.
Stokes to compose himself after that issue of moments ago. Galloway does really well to get rid of Benyat with a spin, and he can play forward quickly. Naboot comes inside with the ball, but his touch is too heavy. Galloway cleaning up for his teammate's mistake.
Well, for Macarthur, not just because of the goal, but the substitutions change things. Melbourne City substitutions change things considerably. Needless to say, Marco Tilio brings his own set of problems for Macarthur to deal with. But some relief for them is they don't have to chase Connor Metcalf out of midfield, which is where the goal came from again. I don't think you can understate the relief that would be playing against a team like this, the way it's set up, and a player like Metcalf on the ball now. And his job is a more conservative one now. Tilio, another set of stories altogether.
Rose, Liam Rose, Derbyshire. Got Roos in the middle if he wants him. Oh, just beyond the young man, looking for not just his first A-League goal, which happened after 2 minutes of being on the pitch, and his second was just half a stride away. He was highly rated as a junior player. He came through, he was at Sydney United when he got selected for Under-17s World Cup. I remember seeing him in an FFA Cup game at Rockdale. He had a similar impact on that evening. Macarthur winning it back. A lot of momentum for the home side. Lovely ball from Roos. Here's Golek. Derbyshire looking to make space, but again the cross for him is too high. Lachlan Rose into an area instead of at a teammate. Stokes nods away to Naboot. City back the other way straight away. Tilio hasn't got into the stride of the match so far. Another substitution coming for Melbourne City.
Yeah, quite end of the night for Andrew Naboot has been really peripheral in the second half. Beautiful work by Derbyshire. Has a look, rolls the ball, and Roos just 1 yard behind the money shot. But then he, the substitute again, broke the Melbourne City defence with that threaded pass down left. Then Golek's cross was poor. Lockie Rose's cross was poor.
Not as poor as that throw-in.
Not as poor as that throw-in. Obviously a mere detail that Sean Evans is prepared to ignore for the greater good.
Slippery ball. That's the problem. Federici. It's one way, goes the other. Kolakowski's on for Naboot for Melbourne City. A dynamic young player off the bench. Glover. Adelaide United loving this result at the moment. The opportunity to go top is now in their hands. If it stays this way tomorrow, they'll play Wellington. If it stays at 1-1 here, Milligan well positioned. Stop the long ball through to McLaren. Rose. Shushnia. It is 4 p.m. Anzac Day football on Fox Sports around the country. Kolakowski setting sail down this right side. He can take them all on. Foul given. Got to be confident to go out there with Chewy and play. It's a yellow card to Shushnia.
Yeah, interesting. Quite sure that the free kick needed to be given away. They had Kolakowski rounded up. I thought they might have been able to steal the ball.
Chance has been at a premium in this one. Shushnia will have a little rest next match. That's not going to help Macarthur's issues at the back with all those injuries that they've got at the moment. Jake Holman looks like he's about to make an entrance for Macarthur. It'll come after this set piece for Melbourne City. The top good was the one that's got something on it. Just the 12 shots in total for the match. Get the feeling these last 10 minutes, there's a few things that are going to happen. Lachlan Rose looking to make it happen. Rose just a bit too willing and not able.
Yeah, unfortunate. Well done, Lockie Rose. Rose needs to just play the ball there, get the ball under control, keep the attack going.
Swish now at the second attempt. There's the Galloway. Just flicks a boot at it, but goes back to Macarthur through Liam Rose. Advantage played by Sean Evans. Kolakowski judged to have fouled his opponent, but they go on with Golick down this left-hand side. Perhaps that cross was on with his preferred left. Bruce looking for Jean Rowe, didn't quite work out.
Well, I reckon Anthony Golick was spooked by his last poor cross. But players were running into the box too in anticipation, and it's one of those ones where the person in possession cuts back onto their other foot. The runs are killed, the space is deadened. Okay, there was a second option. He gave it to Roos, but he didn't have the solution.
And they go on. Macarthur, Roos, take a few on. Martis, Lachlan Rose, checks wide. It's Macarthur asking the questions at the moment. These substitutions have really worked out for Ivan Jolic and Ante Milicic, who is here tonight. Thinking of his father, he's handed the reins to Ivan Jolic on the bench, and they've got a full head of steam up at the moment, the home side.
Well, they have, well defended by Jamison on the end. It was a not completely kind angle for Lockie Rose in the end. They're still makeable.
Jay Coleman will come on for his 11th appearance off the bench for Macarthur. 3 starting appearances for Jake. Another impressive young player. Can make a difference too. Metcalf. Benyat for company. Tilio. Metcalf just wanting the ball. Berenguer calmly with the Stokes. Good. And falls to Tilio. Fleet of foot finds Berenguer. Problems here for Macarthur. Milligan got in the way, positioned himself well. A little hint of a penalty. Ooh, Berenguer, cheeky little chip.
Well, a great opportunity to get that clear. Macarthur, they dallied. Melbourne City stayed on the job, which is their MO. Tilio looks really dangerous carrying the ball at speed, doesn't he?
Good, and Stokes ambling up. They've got this opportunity to play this short corner with the overload, the 2-on-1. Luna. It's good defending from Golick. Jamison can get over Martis. You want to get it right here, Scott. He's got a couple of Macarthur players around him. He does really well and picks out Tilio. Still the ball beats everyone, unfortunately. Thought it was going to hold up, but didn't. A greasy surface here as we approach time added on. 1-1. Macarthur, a point. Yeah, it's okay. 3 would be better to get away from this chasing pack outside the 6. And as for Melbourne City, well, destiny of top spot by the end of the weekend will not be in their own hands unless they find a late winner here. They'll stay top tonight. The early result, Central Coast 2, Sydney 2. Look at how compressed it is. Just 7 points between 1 and 6, with 3 teams and 4 teams knocking on the door outside of that top 6. We go right down to the wire. Like this particular fixture, Campbelltown. Mark Milligan's had a good night at the back, despite the fact he put the ball in his own net. It was offside, fortunately for Mark. Berenguer. It's cross Benyat. Wild swing at it. Kolakowski quickly onto it. Luna. Galloway. Himself has been one of City's best. Metcalf steps in front. Metcalf again. Oh, rattles the woodwork. It was that close. And Tilio. Holman in his pocket.
What a player he is, this young guy, Connor Metcalf. That's why you're more relieved when he drops to the base of midfield, which very clearly doesn't mean you've neutralised him completely. It was a wonderful effort by Connor Metcalf. He wouldn't have been any way back from Macarthur there, I don't reckon, if that goes in.
Adam Federici was like the rest of us, breath held, waiting to see what would happen with the ball. He did not move. Macarthur goalkeeper. He's got a bit to do here. Potentially Luna can't get in between about 3 Macarthur defenders. Milligan attacks it, falls to Galloway. Holman and Derbyshire just about clear it. Kolakowski can have another crack. Galloway. Jamison had his hands up as the option, and Lachlan Rose, that was a tired attempt at a clearance. It's out for another corner. More pressure for Macarthur.
It was a tired attempt. Look at this from Metcalf. Has had a great game. Great season. Superb player. Let's hope for his sake principally, but everyone involved in football, that his progress continues his trajectory.
Galloway. Work an option. I reckon he's just stayed on here, the Frenchman. It's a good-looking cross. Jamison. I like that shot in the end. It was offside. The flag does belatedly go up.
Well, that was hang on for your lifetime. You got the sense from Macarthur, who are sucking in some big ones at the moment, seeing off that little barrage of pressure. A lot of scrambles in their penalty area. Set themselves now for an assault or two on the Melbourne City goal. Believing still they can bag the full complement of points here in Campbelltown.
They've got about 120 seconds to find something, either side. Macarthur's momentum has certainly been stopped in this last couple of minutes by Melbourne City. Glover, his clearance can only go up into a 50-50, which is won by Macarthur. Golek looks around for options. Benyat with a bit of space. Back to Golek. First on ball to Holman. Benyat. It's Rose. It's for a big diagonal. And Uncle Bruce needs to be athletically superior to just about every person on the planet to run that down. Unfortunately, he couldn't get it. 90 seconds at the end of 90 minutes plus. 1-1 Campbelltown. Macarthur with a handy point, but no more than that. Tabletoppers Melbourne City. Almost pressured into a mistake. Martis can't quite figure out what to do, but in the end he wins a valuable free kick. And they can set up for a set piece with meaning here, Macarthur.
Well, Benyat will look to drop this on the spot. This is where you'd love to have Loic Puyo still on the field. Left footer from here would be my preference, particularly when he's got such quality. But Benyat, you'd imagine, will take the reins.
There's Shushnia, the big 15. That's the man you're going to look for. He's the best viable option, as you pointed out in the first half, Harps, from a corner. And importantly for Macarthur, he's the one that's going to get the big run up at it. He's furthest or widest from this set piece at the top of the box. And he's got Kolakowski for company, so there's a distinct height advantage for Shushnia. This is just taking time off the clock, which will mean this is just about the last action of the game. Can Benyat come up with something special on a platter for a teammate? Here he goes. Benyat's ball is a good one. There's bodies flying everywhere at the top of the box. Evans not interested. Bruce would want to hurry. It's not going to help. Someone else to take the corner. Mark Milligan's going to try the old Rory Delap. Here it comes. He's still got it in him. Mark Milligan. place it on the head of Golek. Metcalf nods away. McLaren as well. Benyat, we go on. We're well past the minimum of 4. Lachlan Rose. Check for the watch from Evans. That was a near thing for Macarthur at the back, and that's how it'll finish. Point split in Campbelltown. High energy second half. Ends with Macarthur getting a point out of it. Can't quite wrest all 3 away from their opponents. And Melbourne City will stay top tonight, but it's over to Adelaide tomorrow. Adelaide United can go top with a win over Wellington Phoenix. This fascinating season with many twists and turns. Have got a few to come just yet. But out of tonight, Macarthur FC get a point. 1-1 themselves and Melbourne City. Good second half, their halves. Moments of real intent from both sides.
It's been a great Saturday of football. Sydney Mariners into Melbourne City